Mike here, michaelpitluck.com, and in this video, I'm just working on adjusting my page here, my product page for music templates, basically. Doesn't really matter what they are, they're just products that I sell, and I'm just going to be working in Thrive Architect. That's what I use, and we're just going to kind of move this around. So this is what the page looks like right now. And what I'm thinking is a little bit too wide. I want to have just 3 of these per column here. And I might do something where I bring in the template bundle on the top, kind of as a more of a featured product type of thing, because this bundle is just all of these products bundled together. And these guys I might just have below that featured bundle. Okay, so not totally sure. So what I need to do is just get rid of this. So I'm going to come up here to the breadcrumbs and go to column. I'm just going to delete this column here like that, just like that. And then same with this column right here. It's not used. I'm just going to delete that. So now we have these really big columns, but those are too big. So at the time I made this page, I'm looking up at the breadcrumbs to see if I put it inside of a container or a content box, and I did not. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to come over here to content box, drop it below the text here, and I'm just going to select this. I'm going to select the columns, and then I'm just going to drag these columns into the content box. I'm going to click here, come over to content box, and I want to come to the layout, and I'm just going to delete all the padding and margin on the content box. It's literally just a container. And there we go. Because then I can control the width of everything inside that container. And so same with this column group right here. I'm just going to select these columns, and I'm going to move it below these columns, just like that. And so now when I click here, you'll see it is nested inside of the content box, and the content box just goes around everything here. And so what I could do now is just come over here to the layout and position of the content box, and I'm just going to hit 900, just like that. You can see that now the content box is aligned left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the align center here, and there we go. That's pretty much exactly what I want it to look like. And now if I need to add more, I can always just come over here to this column, and I can hit the duplicate function. Whoops, that's the wrong button. This guy right here. And then I could just kind of start changing these images and changing the links to everything. So let's come over to this column group, and I'm going to delete it. Okay, cool. So this is good. I'm going to save this. Another thing I want to do is add a learn more and a buy now button. Because if you look at these little boxes, they don't tell anyone to do anything. And so I kind of want to make that a little bit more explicit. Plus, these are linked right now. As you can see, we have a link over here somewhere. But the text is not telling someone to do something, right? If you have a button, that's going to. So what I'm going to do is just move this up to the top. I'm going to come over to text here. And at the same time, what I'm going to do is come over here. Okay, so all of this stuff, like this image right here, this is all linked to the same product page. So I'm going to just go ahead and copy this and put it in a little thing like that. There we go. And so then we can get rid of the link. This is actually something I'm not quite familiar with. This is a new way of handling links. So where do I... Oh, here we go, link. So I'm just going to remove the link. So now we're just back to plain text. So you can see up here in the breadcrumbs, it's just the text. I'm going to move this to the top above the image, and that looks a little funky. So what I need to do is, number 1, adjust the line height in the text because it's a little bit too far apart. Something like that. Let's get rid of the bottom margin, or the line spacing they call it, and then inside the content box, because this whole thing is a content box, the image you can see is nested inside a content box. That's just the way that I like to do it. It just makes it really clean because I can just now come to the content box and bring everything down. So let's do about 20 pixels like that. Cool. And so here we have a preview that someone can do of the template. And then, so maybe I should let them know. So I'm going to just duplicate this, bring this down like there, and we'll do preview. And so we have some negative margin here. What's this? So this has -2. Okay. And then if I look around here, we have some margin. Okay. Just looking at the design a little bit, so that should be okay. I'm not totally thrilled with how that looks. This guy needs to come up like right around here, it looks like. So negative, I have to remember this number. So negative, let's say 120. What would that do? Okay, negative 140. Okay, negative 130. Negative 125. Negative, oh my gosh. Negative 130. Okay. All right. And then this guy. Let's go to 20 again. That's what it was. And then, let's see. So where is this guy? Let's put this below the text. Why are these coupled together? Okay. So what does this look like? Oops. Okay. So here we have the preview. What does this look like? Okay, cool. Geez. So, let's bring this down. So negative, let's do negative 80. Okay. Negative 70. All right. And then what's this doing? So if we put this to 0, okay. Oh, okay. I was like, why is there so much space above preview there? Just because I hit return. Okay, cool. All right, finally, things are starting to behave a little bit better. So, okay. Preview, that looks better. And we don't have to have, the only thing that's crazy is obviously moving this guy back. Okay, so what we need to do is just maybe give this a little bit of room. So that's 0, that's 0. Okay. Size. So I'm curious. I'm just going to save this and then preview it really quick because I want to see what this image is. So if I right click and go to show image in new tab. Okay. So for whatever reason, I didn't see that there was padding on the image. So, okay, so here's the padding. So if I close this down a little bit, So let's go to 10. Hmm. 15. All right. So let's try 10 again. Let's come back. All right, so what I'm looking at now is getting this on the same line as this. So that would mean I need to put some margin in these guys. Let's turn off the link here, and then we'll just do 10 on the left, 10 on the right. So now those things are aligned. What if we just did 0? Okay, so we'll give this a little bit of room. A little bit more, we'll do 20. Give this a little bit of room, 10. Maybe we can make this a little bit bigger. Something like that. Still want to decrease this just a little bit. All right, for now, we'll stick with that. If we need to make the minor adjustments later, we can. So now we're going to add in the buttons. So I'm going to come over here, and we'll do button. So this one's going to say learn more. And why does this look weird? So layout and position. Okay. Oh, I see. Because we said that we're going to have this one go all the way out, so we can move this one back to all the way out. All right, so we don't have any padding here. And so I took away the padding here as well. Okay, so this one says learn more. Let's duplicate it. And this one's going to say buy now. Okay, cool. So this one we're going to bold. And button, we're going to click on the breadcrumb button. We're going to go to main options. Let's go to button width. We'll do percentage 100%. Okay. And then same with this. We'll do 100%. Bold. Change the color. This one's going to be button. We're going to change this to an orange. Apply. All right. And then this one is going to be a different style. Where are the button styles here? Okay, style. We're going to do the ghost style. And we want to change a couple things about this. We will have, I think, the border. So you can see there's a border here. So we'll have the border. Scroll over here. Where's the border? Border. I'm going to change this to the same orange color. We're going to have the text be the orange color here. Button. And then the button. Change this to that other orange as well. Main options, this orange. Apply. Okay. All right. So with this $29 price tag, I'm not sure if I need it because what I can do is just go like this, 29, right? And that thing was a pain in the ass to deal with, so I'm just going to get rid of it. That looks pretty clean. Maybe I could switch the buy now and the learn more. Yeah, there we go. Obviously, what you would want them to do on the page is to buy now, so you put that. It's obviously the more standout button. But of course, if someone's not ready to buy and they want to learn more than just the preview, they have the option to come to the product page. And so what we need to do now is adjust the hover settings. So as I hover over this now, we have that green background. What we need to do maybe is just change that. So I'm going to come over to here, button state. Okay, so here we go. Button state. Let's come to hover. I'm just going to change this to the same orange. I'm not even going to do anything. And we'll save, and then we'll switch back to the normal mode. Okay, saving's done. Normal mode. Okay, and same with this. Just come over here, and we'll go to hover. And color. Okay, let's see what happens if we just save. Okay, let's go back to button. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I accidentally switched over to the hover state on the text. It's probably what I did. That's exactly what I did. Okay, so I need to figure out how to... Let's try this. Borders. Let's come to this. Background. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen now. If we switch back to a normal state. Okay, let's save this and let's preview it really quick. We have all these windows open now. Okay, let's get rid. I think this is the original page, so I'm just leaving that open to compare it against. Save. And then let's preview. Okay, yeah, so nothing happens on either button, so that's cool. Maybe we can do a little tiny animation or something like that, but make the text bigger. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Oh, you know what? Let's round the corners a little bit. So I'm going to come over here. Let's go to borders and corners, and let's try 3 pixels. Not bad. Come over here, borders and corners. We'll do 3 pixels. Okay, that looks a little bit nicer. I wonder if we can do that on this. I kind of like that. It's not as harsh. I'm pretty sure it actually. Let's make sure it did something. And I'm not making things up. Okay, it did do something. What about 5? Ooh, that's a little too noticeable, I think. So we'll stick to 3. Okay, cool. So Solardo synthetic template, Solardo style. Then we have the image. We have a preview. Then we have the buy now. We have the learn more. Okay, cool. And so now I just need to duplicate this for the other ones. So I'm going to duplicate this text, and I'm going to move it over here. So this is the who the fuck template. Okay. So another thing that I could do is Tech House templates, something like that. Okay, so what was the, so 20. So if I come over to the content box, we want to have a 20 padding on the inside, just like that. We want to make this all the way, oh, we have to go to layout and position. I thought this was the size I was trying to adjust. So let's come over to layout and position here, and let's get rid of that, just like that. We can get rid of this because we're not going to use this, and get rid of that. Okay, so we can also get rid of the text, which is also a link, because now we already have it. We'll duplicate this and content box, and we'll drag this below the image. It's going to say preview. Or you know what I can do instead is, because this is going to copy over all the settings, let's just double check. So here we have 10. Let's put 10 below this image as well. So 10, this didn't have any. Okay, so let's get rid of this. I just want to make sure everything's the same. So this has a margin of 20. This has a margin of 20. This has margin of 10 on the bottom, 10 on the bottom. So now let's duplicate this and move it over here. Preview. Okay, so there's some margin errors going on. So this one has, let's just change this to 0 all the way through on the inside. There we go. And then we have 20 on the bottom of the preview, guys. So let's come over here. We'll do 0 all the way through the middle there on the padding. And there we go. And then we will duplicate this. One thing I'm thinking is, if I have all these buy now, learn more buttons, I think that should be okay. I was thinking that, what if it said the template name on it, right? So instead of, for example, buy now, it said synthetic. Okay. So implicitly, the button says to click here, right? But this is a little bit more explicit. So we'll just go with this for now. I mean, it's looking pretty clean, so I like that. Now, what we could do is something a little bit more clever here. So what I'm going to do is come to the content box of the, there we go. I'm going to come to this content box, and I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to move this content box into here. Just like that. So now what we could do is move this image right here, and we'll just get rid of all this. Okay, so we just need to have 0, 10, and then synthetic. This is going to be tomorrow, and this is going to be that's the problem. Okay, so a little problem there. What I should do is then drop the text. Okay. So what size is this? This is 19. So if I, okay, so if I do template, tomorrow template, so if I reduce this to 19 as well, then I can add back the template there. And then same with this. Who the fuck? We're going to do template and Latin style. And then what we could do is 19 here as well. And how terrible is that? Okay, so here what we could do, okay, so it's, what we need to do is come over to layout and position. Okay, so something's going on with the content boxes. So let's come to the outer content box, because we put a content box within a content box. So I'm coming out to the second content box here because the second one needs to do absolutely nothing. It's kind of pointless, but it's kind of a pain to delete it. So I'm just gonna leave it. So we have the tomorrow template, we have the image, we have a preview, we have the buy now, we have the learn more. So I can delete all this other stuff here. Okay, and now we have all these that look really good. Let's come over here and change the border to the borders to 3. And what about this one? Okay, so let's change that. What size is this? See, it feels a little bit bigger than the other ones, but it's not because all the templates are exactly the same size. Okay, so that feels pretty clean. One maybe thing I could do is come to the content box, layout, and then maybe just do 25. Just a little bit more padding on the inside there. Oh, forgot to delete this guy right here. Let's get rid of him. That feels does that feel cleaner? Maybe a little bit. So let's come over here and we'll do 25 and then 25. Cool. And same with this, 25. That does feel a little bit cleaner. What's the spacing in between these columns? So if I come over to columns and come to main options, I can see that the gutter width is 20. So if I increase that to 25, so now I'll have really even spacing. So this is going to be 25 pixels. This will be 25 pixels. That's 25 pixels. And so I don't know. I mean, man, that looks really pretty clean. One thing to do also is maybe just make these backgrounds a little bit darker. So this is a very light gray compared to the white. So if I made those just a little bit darker, so let's come to the content box, background style. I thought it was a... Oh, okay. So I did it at the column level. So instead of F9, let's try F2. Okay, that's a slightly darker. Okay, cool. So we'll come to this and we'll change this. Come to the column level and we'll do this as well. So F2. All right. And finally, we'll do it on this one as well. Column. And F2. Okay. That looks pretty clean. I like it. So, let's compare. Yeah, like, so the order that everything happens here makes so much more sense than what's going on right here, right? I don't know what to do when I look at this, but when I look at this, I see, okay, so this is Tech House templates for Ableton Live. This is the Tomorrow template. It's in this style. Here's a nice little graphic for you. Hey, you can preview it. Do you like the preview? Then you can buy it. You don't like the preview? Don't buy it. You like the preview, but you still want to learn more before you buy? You have it. So there's a very logical path for a visitor to go through right here. And so that makes a lot of sense, and I like it. Okay, so what we could do now is just take all these columns like this. And what's this content box? Okay, so that's going around all the columns. So let's select the column breadcrumb here, and we will duplicate this just like that. And then I'm just going to update everything from here into here. And so here, this is going to be a different template. This is going to be the freaky shit template, and it's going to be in the Eli Brown style. So Eli Brown. Okay, and then this is the Are You Mad template, and this is going to be in a Chris Lake style. And this is going to be the Jello template. And this is going to be in the Pause style. Okay. And then what we need to do is bring this image up. So we're going to come over to the layouts, and the layout needs to be just 10 on the bottom margin. So 0, 0, 10. Okay, we can get rid of this image. And then, cool. And then with this guy, we can just drag him up. And we just need to fix those things again. So 0 padding all around, and just 10 on the margin on the bottom. And then let's just get rid of this. Okay. And then finally, one last thing to go. This needs to be 0 padding all around and 10 margin on the bottom. Perfect. Okay. Cool. All right. Save that. And now what we can do is just get rid of these dreadful columns down here. Columns, delete. Okay. This is bothering me that it's not even. So also it bothers me that there's all this extra space on the bottom of the text, and Thrive thankfully got rid of that using this line spacing feature, which is amazing. And so now I just want to get this better. So layout and position. So I'm looking at where can I control the margin here. And it looks like it's coming from the content box here. Okay, it's not. Where is that coming from? So let's just kind of back up here. Columns. So 10. There's where the 10 is coming from. Okay, well, that's a mystery. So there's a content box around this guy. There we go. So it's that 50 right there. Okay. Nice. That's better. 50. So background section. Okay. Maybe we'll give this a little bit more. -30. Yeah, okay. I was wondering because this does not feel like 50 pixels. This is like 50 pixels up here. Because if we come to the background section, we see there's 50 pixels there. So if we pop that to 0, you can see that goes basically to the top. So that's about 50 pixels. This is not 50 pixels, and that's because the content box here is -30. So there we go. So let's come over to the content box here, and we'll do 50 pixels below the columns. But then let's also come to the columns and get rid of this 10 margin stuff. We don't need any of this stuff. And so same with these guys, the columns. Oops. Okay. Okay, cool. So obviously what we need to do is get some separation between those two columns. So let's come to these columns, and then we'll just add in, it was probably about, what was it, 15 plus 15, was it 50? Is that too much? How much spacing is, wow, there's no spacing there. So I'm going to come to this text. I'm going to get rid of that line spacing and then just use margin to actually create the spacing. And so let's make it pretty even. So we'll go to 50. So that way we have a relatively equal space above and below. Although it feels like this space is greater than this space, especially because the P drops down there. But that's okay. And then, so let's come to these columns here. Columns. And 50 pixels feels a little bit too big. Although I think that's what it was. Yeah, 30 is a little too small. 40. We'll leave it at 50. Okay, 50. All right. Okay, and then coming over here, we have the content box, columns. We have no, okay, so there we have the 50 pixels. And then this, let's get rid of the internal padding on the text, internal padding on the content box. Okay. Whatever. And then we'll come to the background section. Okay. Okay, cool. So save that. And the only thing left to do is to fill in the links. And so let's just go ahead and fill this one in because this is the one that I started with. I'm saving the link of right here. And so this, if we just pop over, is just a link to the product page, just like that. And we also want to get the checkout cart link here now. I should start changing these buttons to a different color, although the free template button up here is a certain same color. So, oh, still using Thrivecart, geez. Okay, so if we come over here, let's start just linking. So obviously someone could certainly click on the picture. So let's just make sure, it seems like that picture is linked. So if we add a link to image, there it is. Good. And so someone will probably click on the link. Someone will definitely click on the buy now, but let's click on the learn more main options and the target URL. We do not want it to open in a new tab. We want to just have them open right to the product page. So, and then we need the buy now link, which is from Thrivecart. And then just come over here to target URL. One thing I could do is maybe put a shadow underneath the buy now. Oh no, I don't want to put a shadow because if you see, I can when I roll over these, there's a shadow that goes underneath the whole column. So if I have a shadow underneath the button and I have a shadow underneath the column, this is just going to look a little awkward, I feel. So we'll leave it like this. Okay, so does this work? Did I basically get it right here? So if I click preview now, let's do another preview. Okay, let's just test these links. So I'm just going to click on the picture. I command clicked on that. That's why I opened up in a new tab. So cool, we get the product page. If I click on the buy now, we get the checkout page. If I click on the learn more, we get the checkout page. Okay, so let's come to the image and copy the image link to the learn more button. Okay, save work. Let's just double check. Let's just refresh this. And so if I click on learn more now, cool, we go to that page. Just to double check, if I click on the image, I'm not doing a command click, it just takes me right to the page. If I do the buy now, it takes me to the checkout. Now I'm not doing the command click. If I do the learn more, it takes me to the product page. So that's exactly what I want. If I press play, it's going to play the preview. And so the only thing really that's left for me to do is to make sure all these links work in the same way. Another thing I said at the beginning of the video is I want to do like some kind of feature at the top for the bundle of all these templates, but I think I'm going to stop this video here because we covered kind of reached a kind of a logical stopping point here with getting all these columns right. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest. Definitely not something you need to see, but I hope you enjoyed just a kind of behind the scenes look at using Thrive Architect. I am an affiliate for them, so if you decide to purchase Thrive Themes and Thrive Architect, then I would appreciate going through my affiliate link. It is down below beneath this video. I'd love for you to leave a comment below the video as well. Like the video, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.